G'day watchers, welcome to Perth Watch, your horology channel broadcasting from right here in Perth, Western Australia. Today I have a piece from Venezianico. This will be my second piece here, and this is the packaging that it comes in. So it's actually pretty grippy, you know. It's all sustainable stuff, which is kind of good. It's all recyclable, but grippy, so that spin rating is probably only 1 out of 5. Now the packaging, they do give a return box if you want to use it, and I have explored this packaging in my first Venezianico review, including all the documentation. So I'll put a link up here. That's the Redentore that I reviewed, the Redentore GMT. So check it out if you want to look at more of the packaging. I won't actually go into detail here. So just going to take the watch out and put that aside. And let's just show you this in closer detail. So already you can see the effect of this watch is supposed to be an ultra black dial. This is the Venezianico Neride or Neride Ultra Black. Now Neride or Neride is their kind of dive watch. I believe that is a name of a submarine, a historic submarine series or whatever, but I'm not sure what the pronunciation is. So if you know whether it's a 2 or 3 syllable word, let me know in the comments below. So this is the Neride Ultra Black. The serial number down the bottom there, 3921510. This is the Ultra Black dial version of their dive watch here. Now the retail for this is set at 492 euros. Pretty steep. That's pretty much around 500 USD. So this is the discussion here. I suspect now and then this will go on sale. So maybe realistically expect this to, be maybe 15-20% off in terms of acquisition price at times. But for this purpose, we're going to assume a 500 USD-ish price. And I'll put the links down below to the website if you want to check out more details. Okay, so first up, as I usually do, it's going to be difficult to get any light on this, is it? Because it's so ultra black here. So as I usually do, let's talk about the movement. I'm not going to go into details on the specs. You guys probably have memorized the specs of the Seiko NH35A down the left, or at least most of you. Now this does have a ghost date. It does have the disc in situ, as you can feel it when I adjust the watch. So that's, I guess, a slight bit of a negative. Some people really won't like that. And in terms of rated accuracy, you can see there the performance is -4, slightly slow in the actual use of the watch that I have been experiencing in real life. Now, talking about the case next. So this is a 42mm diameter case. That's what we're dealing with here. 316L steel, of course. It is 12.7mm stick. So fairly reasonable for a 200-meter resistant dive watch. It's got 22mm lug width here and a lug-to-lug distance between my thumbs of 49mm. That's what we're dealing with in terms of the dimensions here. Overall weight is 105 grams on this kind of nylon strap, which is perfectly comfortable, right? I think that's a weight that at times I can forget it's on my wrist. In terms of finishing, so what we have here is a mix of brush and polished surfaces up the top here. Certainly the bezel insert is, kind of circular brushing. You can see there. It's got slightly polish on the grips there, long brushing on the top and side of the case with a polished bevel. Hopefully you can appreciate the polished top bevel and polished bottom bevel. And then the bottom is actually, try to show you, it's kind of a bead blasted at the bottom of the lug surfaces there. In terms of the case back, you can see it's got polished on the side and then that kind of spaceman motif. I try to put a proper screenshot here rather than trying to pull this strap aside. Okay, so it's got a screw down solid case back. It's got a screw down sign crown there, and the water rating, as I mentioned earlier, is 200 meters. And you probably saw that at the case back as well, 200 meters, so proper dive watch rating here. Now, moving on to the dial, which arguably is, certainly advertised as the star of the show here. This is a plain matte dial. It is in Japanese Muso black paint. That's what they've stipulated. It's unique, or at least they say it's unique for this watch. 99.4 light absorption capability to give this ultra black look. It's really only got an applied polished logo on the dial. Otherwise, it's completely black to give that somewhat startling and unique look to this dial, which is pretty cool. I really understand and appreciate what they're going for. The rehaut or the flange is brushed. You can see on the screenshots here. And then moving on to the hands, you got partially skeletonized, polished baton main hands, and then it's got the stick seconds with just a bit of a rectangular bit there for the loom. In terms of loom, BGW9 on all three hands, as well as the bezel pip. So really just 4 points of loom. Put a loom shot right here to for you guys to see how it glows in the dark. It glows all right, and it's really in line with the minimalistic look of this watch. Right, moving away from the dial now. So the bezel, yes, I've talked about the brush finish here. Really just got that simple triangle at the 12 o'clock position, or that pointer there with that pip. In terms of clicks, 120 clicks. Okay, 10 clicks there, so 120 click unidirectional dive style bezel, but without any of the timing markers. So, does this actually qualify as a dive watch? Arguably, it probably does not actually fulfill ISO 6425 criteria, but hey, you can probably still use it as a timing indicator if you wish. On top of the dial there is a flat sapphire. So this sapphire does have some AR, but as you can see, unfortunately, it probably can do with more AR. That's really one of going to be the main gripes of this watch here, right? AR, but could do with more. Moving on to the strap then. So this is a fairly simple, is it parachute nylon? It's nylon, it's elastic, it's stretchable, and you just simply adjust it by moving that particular keeper there. It's got brush hardware, and then you can see nice little touch there, ultra, hopefully you can see that ultra black there. Okay, very simple. And then in terms of putting it on, also fairly simple. You just pull it on, and I've adjusted that keeper to the right position for me, and then what you do is just clip it on there, and that's it. Infinitely adjustable is one of the strengths of these kind of parachute nylon straps, and that's how it looks like on my wrist. So 12.7 millimeters thick, 49 millimeter lug to lug. That's what this piece looks like, and really it's quite striking in terms of just being a very monochrome black and white piece, that's for sure. Okay, so that's it. That's the entire description of the watch. Let's talk about the pros and cons. What have I liked? What have I enjoyed about this? Look, I think this is really quite an interesting ultra black concept, right? It's of course leveraging off the Moser Vanta Black, right? The Moser Vanta Black, of course, is a 6-figure. Oh no, actually, it's a 5-figure watch. I think it's about 25,000 is the cheapest you can get a Vanta Black from Moser, and I'll put a screenshot here for, I guess, for reference, as if you're going to compare it directly. And now Moser Vanta Black, of course, is the blackest material. This is 99.4, so not quite super black, but it's a pretty good leverage and a pretty good kind of attempt at an ultra black watch. I think the finishing is very good, right? On the case, the bezel, the feel of the bezel is very solid. You're getting sapphire, 200 meter, full-blooded dive watch rating there for full sports capability, water sports capability. I wouldn't have any qualms taking this into water. And it's got a really great minimalistic design. I really like the design that they've gone for. No markers, just the logo, really pretty cool. And people do look at this and most people do think it's a pretty cool design. And the polished elements, right, on the dial, the logo, the hands, they really do pop. It's a nice offset against that ultra black there. So well done on that. What are the weaknesses? What are the things I'm going to point out? Well, look, I think the obvious thing is the crystal. It really does need some better AR. That's my opinion. In most circumstances, if you look at the strap compared to the dial, the strap actually looks blacker because the anti-reflection isn't perfect. In fact, it really can do with more. So that's a little bit of weakness. It kind of attenuates the ultra black that they're going for. It's got a ghost state. Some people really hate that. For 500 USD, you would prefer that they put in a Swiss movement or at least a no date Seiko NH movement rather than the cheaper NH35. You know, some people really hate that. I don't mind it, but you know, some people have commented that's a big negative. And you know, you have to pay more if you want the steel bracelet or even the rubber. 85 euros more for the steel, 50 euros more for the rubber. And you know, you think that at this price, maybe they could have thrown in one or the other with an option to swap out. But hey, you know, that's what they've priced it as. And overall, you have to say, you know, nearly 500 euros for nylon strap Seiko NH35 movement. I think for many, this might be pushing it, right? Is the dial that special? Well, I think you have to pay for design and originality, and that's what this is. But some people would find that that might not be enough. Let me know your thoughts below on this watch. What you would prefer? Would you think a Swiss movement should be in here? You know, look forward to this discussion that will come out of this. So guys, there we go. My review of the Venezianico Neridi Ultra Black. Let me know, as always, what you think. And thank you for sticking with me. As always, I'll catch you guys next time.